So now, ladies and gentlemen, live and in colour, it's Mr. Wayne Love Juice.
The other day I produced a Louis, had a track with an interesting trappy who said that the YouTube algorithms really aren't that happy. If a channel only broadcasts once a week, so we decided we could texture whenever we've got a piece of news in our new book on the track extra.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Downs. I'm the director of the Centre for Fortean Zoology, and welcome to another midweek episode of On the Track Extra. As regular CFZ watchers know, every day I scour the world news, or rather that makes it sound like I'm far more hard-working than I actually am. What I actually do, I have Google News alerts scour the world news for me, and everything that's involved with a mystery animal or an unusual animal or an out-of-place animal, I make a note of, and whenever possible I add them to the news pages on the CFZ website. And you can get to the CFZ website news pages here. Here's the URL. Now, what I would like to do today is to just go through some of the more interesting recent news stories and showcase them here on the Track Extra. And the first one comes from Essex. Now, Essex is a county at completely the opposite end of England to where I am now. And the only reason I've ever been to Essex was when dear Maxine was still alive and I went to visit her. If I were somebody who believed in such things, I would say that the advent of a remarkably coloured and very rare bird in Essex, in her old stamping grounds, was her coming back just to make sure that we're all doing our job properly. But I probably don't believe stuff like that. Let's go on with the story before I start getting too soppy. A bird so rare that it has never been photographed before has been spotted in Epping Forest. A distinctly pure white tree creeper has been seen for what could be the first time in the UK, and was snapped by an amateur photographer, Christine Henry. Tree creepers are typically brown, white and yellow gold to camouflage with the trees, according to the British Trust for Ornithology. RSPB Bird and Wildlife Charity confirmed it as a leucistic tree creeper, meaning that it does not have its regular pigmentation. Leucism is a genetic condition in animals characterized by reduced pigmentation, but it is unusual to see an all-white version. The British Trust for Ornithology has not found another known photograph of such a bird, and it is understood that this is probably the first time one has ever been photographed in the UK. Well, it's a remarkably beautiful little bird, and I think it's wonderful that it has been seen. What have I done with my glasses? Leucism is sometimes known as partial albinism. The difference between an albino animal and a leucistic animal is quite simply that an albino animal has no pigmentation at all and will have red eyes, just like your classic white rabbit, and a leucistic animal will not have red eyes. It will have whatever coloured eyes that creature usually has. So, end of one story. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. On to the next one. Well, the next story is about a ghost elephant. No, we don't mean the spirit of a dead elephant coming back to walk the earth in anger as it hunts down the people who killed it for ivory. We're actually talking about an elephant in Senegal, which has just been seen on a camera trap within the last week or so. A camera trap in Nyokolo-Koba National Park captured rare video of what might be the last remaining elephant in Senegal that was last seen 6 years ago in 2019. The new footage was captured by Panthera, the global wildcat conservation organisation and Senegal's Directorate of National Parks, and it shows Ousmane, an elephant named after a park ranger and known as the ghost elephant. Rare sightings, stealthy behaviour and near mythical status due to their low numbers have earned this lone bull the title of ghost elephant, a Panthera spokesman told USA Today for the Windows Outdoors. The black and white footage was captured as the elephant strolled by the camera at night, giving it a ghost-like appearance. When it was last spotted in January 2019, it was thought to be one of only 5 to 10 elephants remaining in the park, a drastic change from the hundreds that once called Nyokolo-Koba home, and a shocking reminder of the implications of poaching and habitat loss. Shortly afterwards, a scientific study by Panthera and DPN revealed that the male is likely the only elephant left in Senegal, although anecdotal reports might suggest the presence of several others in the area. Elephant numbers in Senegal have been declined now to near extinction, but this new sighting has sparked discussion of greater protections for the elusive elephants that remain, including whether it might be possible to establish a breeding population once again in the park. And now for some stories closer to home, if your home is in Exeter, that is, because we have some updates from Guin Palmer, Miss Guinevere, young Dr. Mohammed, and the CFZ Menagerie. Here we have some baby Mexican ant mantids, which are in the process of hatching out from an ootheca. Well, that's always very nice anyway to have babies, but the most interesting thing here is that the ootheca was produced parthenogenetically, because in some species of mantid, when the mother comes to the end of her life and has still not mated, she will produce smaller but viable oothecae. And that's what happened on this occasion. Oothecae, by the way, being the egg mass of praying mantis. And here we have 4 or 5 now baby Mexican ant mantids who are ready to jump into their late mother's shoes. I find the fact that they can reproduce parthenogenetically absolutely fascinating. And what do we have here? It looks like Miss Guinevere has managed to get hold of a white tree frog for her collection. Wrong. Through a series of events that I truly don't understand, and she's explained to me several times that I don't understand at all, she's got 4 white tree frogs for her collection, which means there have to be at least 2 Vivaria because they're different sizes, and the large ones will eat the small ones. Look at this. This is a magnificent vivarium with a lovely waterfall. I'm most impressed. It looks much better than any vid that we ever had. She is a remarkable young lady. And look, it seems to run in the family, because here is young Dr. Mohammed counting out mealworms for his leopard gecko George's supper. I think the way that she has
It's very
introduced
nice.
her two little boys
You will blend.
to animal life and caring for their animals is both admirable and remarkable, and it's doing a very good job to help them with their education. Well done, Guin.
Nope. Yep. So just a few more, and then we can give them to George. Okay.
Shall we do 4 or 5?
Okay, let's do 4. You count 4?
The other night she phoned me and said, "I'm getting a reputation and I don't want Mum to know." And I said, "Well, that's not surprising. No mother ever wants their daughter to have a reputation." But it turns out that the reputation that she has these days is as of the snail rescue lady of Exeter, because she had a message on Facebook saying, "Are you the lady who rescues snails?" Because apparently there was somebody who could no longer look after their pet giant African land snails, and she called upon Guin to come and rescue them. Of course, Guin did exactly that. And here we have some remarkable footage of her smuggling 2 tanks of giant African land snails into the house before telling her mother.
I feel like Mohammed may have spoiled the surprise.
Yes.
They're rescue ones.
Rescue snails?
It was a disabled lady randomly contacted me on Facebook and said, "Are you the lady that rescues snails?" So it's just 4 snails, but it's 2 tanks. And then I found a tank at the tip before I even went to see her, but it's small. So, and they're all going to be put to good use.
Baby, come and eat your happy meal, please. Let me see what your mother's been up to. I do psychology book for the
You do not know. You do not need to read the psychology book to understand what I'm doing. Yeah, you can't give them chicken nuggets, I'm afraid. They don't eat chicken nuggets.
Oh, that chair that I got up to sit in, I think is wet. Because I've got a damp tongue.
These are rescue snails.
Oh,
See, they're the same size tanks as that one. So they're perfect. I just need you to make some lids. I'm filming because you might murder me. Look. I couldn't leave them.
they look perfectly healthy to me.
They're a bit scratchy scratchy.
Oh,
Why is there a cake in it?
put that alone.
I'm going to rehome them. Make sure they're healthy and then rehome them. I'm not keeping them. But these tanks will be really good for getting all of them sorted out.
Yes.
Ooh, Ella.
Yes.
And this
You
one,
can stop filming now. I'm not going to kill you.
Guinevere, her mother, and her 2 little boys are comedy gold. I can't tell you how much innocent pleasure I get out of them. They make me laugh so much. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Guin. And thank you, Dr. Mohammed and little Evo. Now I've got another story for you, and this one arrived in my email inbox this morning. Now, I don't want to make it sound like I am being callous, or dismissive. Extinct moth rediscovered after 73 years by accident. Well, I looked at it. It's not an extinct moth. I'll read you the story first, and then I will have a bitch about their use of the English language. A butterfly conservation ecologist has spoken of her amazement after she accidentally rediscovered a moth that was thought to be extinct in England for 73 years. Aha, so they're admitting it was not actually extinct. It was supposed to be extinct in England. That's a big difference. Rebecca Levy stumbled on an entire colony of Dover twist moths in Kent whilst conducting a survey for other species with volunteers. The Dover twist has not been recorded in England since 1952, and the only place in the UK where it has been seen since then is the island of Tiree off the northwest coast of Scotland, where it is known as the Tiree twist. I don't want to denigrate Rebecca's discovery. It's a magnificent discovery, and she has done very, very well in order to have made it. But whoever it is who is the copy editor at Butterfly Conservation needs a kick up the arse, because the claim that it is extinct and has been rediscovered isn't true. It was extirpated. Extirpated being the word for being locally extinct in a particular area, and it was believed to have been extirpated from England since 1952. It's still a remarkable discovery. Well done, Rebecca, and I don't want to denigrate what you've done at all in any shape or form. But I wish people would stop using the word extinct when they mean extirpated. It's one of those things that really, really pisses me off. Rebecca said, I was absolutely blown away. It's the kind of discovery you dream of making, but you never expected to actually happen. With so many butterflies and moths in trouble across the UK, it's fantastic to find this tiny little species bucking the trend. The Dover twist, Periclepsis cinctatus, is a minuscule moth with a wingspan of just 16 millimeters, but its cream and brown patterns help it stand out. It only lives on chalk grassland, a habitat which has disappeared across the UK in the past century, making it highly vulnerable. Oh dear, 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 am I really becoming that much of a tedious old git? And I'm turning into my father, spending my time picking people up because of incorrect use of the English language. Dear me. Oh well, that's about it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back on Saturday. What are we doing on Saturday? Well, it's got the second part of my interview with Colin Schneider about some of the more mysterious and grotesque mystery animal cases that he has dealt with over the years. And I'll be back next Wednesday. What are we doing Wednesday? I've got absolutely no idea. So, next Saturday I'll be back, and if you're there to watch, I'm most certainly going to be seeing you.